If you are in the beginning of your yoga journey and about to move to another country which you don't speak the language, your yoga practice might be something important that you need to think about. Hey everyone, my name is Ayşe and in this channel I'll be sharing with you my experiences for a healthy and happy life. Today I'm gonna tell you how I started to my yoga journey and how it has changed after I moved to Germany. I started to do yoga 5 years ago in Ankara. After a long searching period and some free trial yoga classes, I found a really good yoga studio. Since it was a very new kind of practice for me, I wanted to try as many different yoga styles as I can. The yoga studio in Ankara was pretty far from where I used to live, but I was going there for 3 or 4 times a week. After I decided that Vinyasa is my favorite yoga style, I tried my best to join almost every Vinyasa class. I think it was the first thing in my life which I did with such regularity and discipline. In the end, I was joining just one of the teacher's Vinyasa classes in the studio since I loved her style. But then she stopped working at that yoga studio and started to give her classes in a gym. I went on a few weeks more in that yoga studio, but then I couldn't get used to other teacher styles, and then I followed my teacher to the gym she was working. She was still great, but the atmosphere of the gym was not for yoga at all. For example, although the doors were closed all the time, we were still hearing the loud music from the floor where people exercise, or we couldn't dim the lights for Shavasana, so a quiet Shavasana was almost impossible. Obviously, that gym was not the best place for yoga, but I didn't want to make any other changes because I was moving to Germany in 1 year. It happened after I moved here. Of course, I needed time to get used to a new country, and there was a lot to be taken care of before finding new ways to do yoga, and I was still not feeling ready to do yoga at home without any professional guidance, and somehow I took a long break from yoga. After 1.5 years of break, I wanted to continue with my yoga practice, but then I realized that I can't afford the cost of yoga studios here. Another gym adventure for yoga has started, but this time the language was the problem. My German was still not good enough to understand what teacher says about the poses, and I always had to check what she's doing. A couple of times I even misunderstood the poses, and I found myself at the end of the Shavasana completely in a different pose than the other people in the class. Well, it wasn't the best, but I was still going there. But then when the gyms were closed during quarantine, I had to continue at home, and this time I really didn't want to give a long break. So I started to do yoga at home by watching some YouTube videos. I searched many YouTube channels, watched a lot of videos, and as you can imagine, there was just one favorite for me in the end. I'm following yoga with Kassandra since her style fits really well to what I like. Also, I can find there a lot of yoga videos with different lengths and also for different kind of purposes. You might think that I have been too picky about this, but focus is really important for me during yoga. Besides, I feel more comfortable if I do yoga just with one certain guide, which I like the style and I get used to it. So for now, doing my yoga practice in the comfort of my home with Kassandra works for me the best. And I will share the link of her channel below if you want to check it out. So even you are in the beginning of your yoga journey and you are having problems with the yoga studio or gym you are going, or if you are moving to another country like I did, and you don't speak the language, instead of taking a long break from yoga, you can find the best online guide for yourself and continue your yoga practice at home. I hope this video was useful for you and you can find the best way for your yoga practice. Thanks for watching. Bye!